Behind the scenes, Game Freak are working on a Pokemon game that's a mainline game that's not connected to Generation 10 or to Legends ZA. We know this from Riddler Coup, who posted this at the end of last year. So there's like a secret, undercover, I guess I'll call it, mainline Pokemon game, and we have no idea what it is yet. And I have a couple of theories, because if it's not related to Legends ZA, and it's not related to Generation 10 of Pokemon, then what could it possibly be? The way that Riddler Coup is talking about it or brought it up, I don't think he's talking about a remake like the Black and White remakes. I don't think it's another Legends game at all, because I don't think we're going to have another Legends game for some time, just because, you know, Legends ZA is coming out soon, and they're not going to drop back-to-back Legends games. And I have a really cool idea, and I think it's definitely a possibility for what this game could be, and if it's not what this game is, I hope that this actually becomes a reality, or some sort of game like this, which I'm about to talk about, becomes an actual game in the future. But right before we get into that, subscribe to the channel, guys. I'm trying to hit 15,000 subscribers before the end of the month. We are so close, and the month is almost over. It's gonna be extremely close. And I just dropped a bunch of brand new items on my website. These are all for my personal collection right here. I mean, look at these Pokemon plushes. I know some people out there need these for their collection, but yeah, all these are fulfilled by me. This is my website, my collection. Go check it out. It's thepixelperk.com, link in the bio. All right, let's get to the video. Okay, so my idea is like a what if spin-off of a Pokemon mainline game. And the what if idea is not like original. Like, I'm not coming up with the what if idea. The what if stuff has been out for a long time. Most of you probably know it from the Marvel What If series, which was pretty good. But I think the what if idea is super cool. And I think for like Pokemon, it could also be extremely interesting. And the reason why is because the Pokemon world or universe is so diverse, right? There are like 1,000 and some odd Pokemon, so many different typings, there are so many different legendaries, mythicals, regulars, whatever. There are so many Pokemon in the world, in the universe. There are different worlds slash universes, which that stuff is all extremely confusing. Like, it's so confusing to tell like what's from what, you know, like Mega Evolution is like a parallel universe from a different universe. It's so confusing. Anyways, imagine if this future game that's coming out, which I don't know when this game is going to be released, maybe next year or the year following, I don't know, it could be anytime, but the secret behind the scenes Pokemon game that apparently Game Freak are working on right now, I also need to add that it was not in the Terra League, so the Terra League stuff did not report anything about this, but this Pokemon game could be some sort of spin-off what if style game of the Pokemon world, or games that we already know. And a super amazing title would be Pokemon Shattered Realms, or like Shattered Dimensions or something. Shattered Dimensions actually might already be a name for something, but like Pokemon Shattered Realms, because think about it, like the whole idea is like, okay, what if this happened instead of this? Like, what if Rayquaza wasn't Rayquaza, you know what I mean? Like, what if Rayquaza didn't split the fight between Groudon and Kyogre and stuff like that, where one small thing changes could lead to a ton of other ginormous changes. So that's why I think the name Pokemon Shattered Realms would go absolutely crazy. And imagine just like we're in a new region, or in a region that we already know would probably make more sense, like the Sinnoh region, Unova region. For the sake of the idea, I'm just gonna let you guys decide what region we could pick. It doesn't really matter what region. I don't really have a specific one in mind, but like I'm just gonna be kind of broad overall, too specific, but then with some things could be, you know, pretty specific. So imagine we're in, you know, the Kanto region. All the key events unfold completely differently. You know, maybe certain gym leaders don't become champions, or they don't become the gym leader, or maybe they lost and something bad happened to them or something, or maybe certain Pokemon species became extinct, or Pokemon types. Like, imagine all the normal type Pokemon are gone, or all the fire type Pokemon, kind of similarly to how Avatar: The Last Airbender, you know, Aang was the last airbender, all the airbenders were gone, like there were no other airbenders. So imagine that. Like, I'm gonna go off on a side rant right here about another cool thing that I just thought about, but imagine like you find the last type of a specific Pokemon. So like you find the last fire type Pokemon, and you have to, you know, you have to figure out a way to create more fire type Pokemon, or you know, have them expand in population. Something like that would be so cool and like hands-on, and I would honestly love the idea of that. I think that would be so cool. What if Team Rocket successfully took over the region, or even just another enemy team like Team Flare or something? Like, what if they actually were successful in the end and they took over the entire region? Like, imagine what type of destruction, chaos that would cause, and how the Pokemon themselves would adapt and change. Or maybe even like a game where it's like multiple universes collide into one, and it's just a whole mix of a bunch of stuff. So like you could have a Pidgey from one universe be looking like this, and another Pidgey from a different universe looks totally different, and the worlds combine, and then you have both, and it's like, oh my gosh, what now? And then enemies versus enemies, good people versus good people, I guess. Something like that would be so cool. And I think something like this would bring so many new evolutions, new forms. Like, I guess you wouldn't even necessarily call them regional variants, but for the sake of the idea, let's just call them regional variants or universal variants. I feel like a what if mainline game could be so cool, because we're going to get to the point in Pokemon where there are just way too many Pokemon, or the ideas are running thin. And a lot of people say the ideas have ran thin with Scarlet and Violet. We're going to get to a point, every single Pokemon game we get, it's going to be more and more difficult for them to, come up with new ideas, new fresh ideas, new Pokemon designs, new, just creativity, I guess. And that's also why I love the Legends series, is because it's creative and it's mainline and it's a really fun spin-off. I think the Legends series is perfect for Pokemon, and it's exactly what we all needed. I think the dynamic of it all is so cool. You'd have more unique roaming Pokemon. Like, imagine a pack of Zebstricas with another pack of Zebstricas from another universe just chilling out together. Like, that would be so cool. Like, there would be different people to meet, new Pokemon to encounter, maybe new legendaries or new mythical Pokemon. Like, imagine there's mythical Pokemon in other universes that collide with one universe, and we have new mythical Pokemon. I really hope mythical Pokemon have a bright future, though. I feel like a lot of mythical Pokemon recently haven't been such a great design, but that's okay, because I think we're gonna get some good mythical Pokemon in the future. It could also bring us a new type of gym structure, which we know that Game Freak and Nintendo and the Pokemon Company are kind of striving for, because Legends Arceus, the gym structure was different, right? We had all like the boss battles and stuff like that. Scarlet and Violet, it was also a little different. We had just a random, order. Like, there was no specific order of the gyms. And I'm gonna assume with Legends ZA, we could probably guess that that game is also not gonna have the traditional gym structure. I think Generation 10 probably will be pretty much the typical gym structure. Maybe a little different, maybe more like Scarlet and Violet, honestly, but I think Legends ZA is going to be pretty unique. I'm really curious to see what it's going to look like for that game. Or maybe even like legendary Pokemon and mythical Pokemon could have different origins, or different legendary and mythical Pokemon actually stand for different things. Maybe Celebi doesn't know how to travel through time. Maybe like Groudon is the one that travels through time, and then Celebi has some sort of other reason to even be a creature. Something like that would be super cool, and I know that there are a lot of people out there that would definitely hate this idea and hate this game. However, I think if they did it right, it could be insane. This would definitely be a game that they would really need to work hard on, because it's definitely complicated. Like, there are so many things that could contradict each other, and this would be super hard to pull off, and I really hope it does happen. I'm just so curious to see what this secret Pokemon game is. I mean, it's not really a secret Pokemon game, it's just like a behind the scenes Pokemon game, like, that just hasn't been announced yet. Or even with all that being said, like, imagine a Pokemon game where it is a what if style game, but your decisions actually change the storyline. Like, there are games out there where it's like, if you say yes or no, the actual storyline is going to unfold differently. Something like that would actually be super cool for a Pokemon game as well. That's something that I don't think they would really touch or mess around with, though, or if for a long time, or ever, if that. But something like this would be so cool. I just can't wait for the future of Pokemon, where we're going to see new style mainline Pokemon games. If you're watching this far in the video, you're a real one, and I want to know what you think about this idea. Let me know if you think the what if style games would be cool, or if you have a different idea of what this secret Pokemon game is, let me know. And like I said, a lot of people are not going to like this idea. I just know I'm getting a lot of negative comments about this entire idea, but man, something like this would be so cool, because we know we're getting Legends games in the future. I think we'll probably get another Legends game maybe like 2029 or 2028 maybe. Maybe the Legends series is going to come out, maybe a new Legends game is going to come out every 3 years. Typically, a brand new generation comes out every 3 years. However, this year we're skipping that 3rd year, and it's probably going to be a 4-year gap in between generations, which is pretty interesting. It seems like they're definitely changing the whole format of the release schedule, which, I guess I'm here for, as long as they just give us good games and they work hard on the games that they're releasing. Legends ZA is coming out really soon, guys. We're getting the trailer soon. Probably Pokemon Day 2025, which is in about a month. It's a little bit less than a month right now, which is cool. That's amazing. We're going to get it soon. I can't wait to see it. If you're watching this far into the video, you're a real one, and I appreciate your support, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.
someone